Here I am getting 40,000 lux just a few moments later at a slight angle from the sun. High energy requirement plants such as cannabis need 10 to 30,000 lux a light at the canopy height during flowering to grow well. They only need about 8 to 13,000 lux during seedling and vegetative phases. Myself, I like the 22 to 28,000 lux range when it comes to cannabis during flowering. But you'd be surprised at how low of a lux value you can get away with and still have the plants grow. This is why cannabis grown in shaded or comes to cannabis during 2 to 28,000 lux flowering to grow well. High energy. Here I am getting 40,000 lux just a few moments later.
40,000 lux. So when you go over here to my channel and you look for the video that is 50 minutes long, that is my whole grow from week 1 to week 9. This is all grown
if you do the
at 45,000
conversion.
And as you can see on the wall, there's 2 feet more that I could have went down. With the inverse square law not applying to multiple lights, I don't know the percentage, except for what I've seen in the video, at about 17, but I'd have to have an intent to get that. But look at what you can accomplish. This is $22 worth of LED light bulbs that do not use a power supply. Look at that. Isn't that something? Now, I get comments here and there that this is a fire hazard. I've been doing this since 2016. Not a fire hazard at all. You can go up on top and type in 9-watt Dollar Tree teardown. In this video, you will see that there is a inline fuse inside the bulb. You can't get no safer than that. Because when you look at an actual purchased grow light, there is not a fuse for every 14 diodes. This has a diode for this has a fuse for every 14 diodes that are on the bulb. There is the inline fuse in there, even though that this is the low side of the bulb.
With the power leads, we have board. This is it. This is all that's on here. We have a fuse here in line with the power leads. We have a filter cap, and we have a bridge rectifier, and we have one passive.
And then on top of it, this bulb is listed for everything. Damp locations, enclosed enclosures. So if you think of this on a commercial level, you could have no problem having an electrician put in light bulbs all the way down. You could get the globes, the glass globes. Like, you don't need to take that top off. You could get glass globes to go over it, and you could spray that thing off with a power sprayer. These are now $1.25 each. I do not make these lights. I do not sell these lights. I make these videos because doing it this way limits your exposure to the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled lights that are out on the market. And on top of it, this is going to produce probably way less because it's spread out. It's not in just one power inverter. You can check the body voltage. You can go back over to my page, and you can go look up how to test for body voltage with a multimeter. That's what this channel is about. It's about the danger effects that is going to happen. Well, we're at ground zero right now. We won't see any repercussions from the workers that are working in the facilities with their heads a few inches away from a grow light that's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled. The videos that I have that are on the lives will give you all the information you could possibly need from a think tank that's all they do is microwave radiation from cell phones. So all these new devices on grows are all becoming Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled. The damage it does to children is incredible. So why would you want to put in a grow light that produces high amounts of EMF, and then on top of it, you have the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth? And children absorb more microwaves. And on top of it, the smart meter on the house. This is all just taxing to the human body. We are an electrical chemical being. You can click on this one, and it will teach you on how to check for body voltage. You can see what it is open air and how much it is actually going through your body. There is also a book by Sam Milham, the author of Dirty Electricity. He maps out the whole connection between electromagnetic fields, electromagnetic pollution, and human disease, and in the workplace. So I hope that kind of clears up on this not being a fire hazard. And I'm not trying to sell you this light. It's just an option that's way better than a big giant power supply with a dimmer switch on it, which adds more electricity. You can learn all that about that just by typing in Sam. You can type in Sam Milham in YouTube, and you'll have plenty to listen to. The research work that he has done over the years between him and Magna Havas should get the ball rolling. You can watch the documentary Generation Zap. It's all about microwaves. And when you look at it, how often are you going to use that app for your phone, for your grow?
Sometimes,
especially if you're new to growing, you're going to be on it all the time. And when you read the about page on your phone, it says to keep it 1 inch away from your body. I mean, if someone is growing cannabis to cure cancer, and now they're going to be handling a phone even more so than they were before because they have an app on it, I think that should be brought up. Don't get me wrong. I understand people want to comment and they don't have time to watch the whole video, but it'd be nice.
And
you can do a test like this on your grow light.
It's a grade AM detector. Here, that's about normal level of static here. Let me just demonstrate this. This was a beautiful little housing light. This goes up in the ceiling. And this is the cord. And in here, it's got a little housing bulb. I plug in automotive bulb. Autos run on DC, okay? Direct current. See that little gizmo? It's got pins, so you can replace it just by plugging it in. So it's a 12-volt DC bulb. This little device here, this little box that's got transistors and stuff, it takes the line voltage coming in through here and changes it to 12 volts DC to run this. That's just times 10 meter. There's 2 or 3 in the world. The regular one goes up to 2,000. This goes up to 10,000. Plug it in there. It's reading 20. Okay. 30. Here's another one. Here's a regular meter over here. It's reading about 100, which is too high, but I can live with it. Now watch when I plug the halogen light in. First you'll hear something. You gotta multiply that. It's 9,000 units. Watch when I pull it out, what happens. goes back down to 100. Okay, to demonstrate something else, the markets these filters. That's 10,000 minutes. I got it down to 40 with that filter. The signal is going, house wiring, and it turns out that where I live here, all the wires, the power wires run down the ceiling here. So if I went the other end of the house, that little halogen light has contaminated the whole house with dirty electricity. And you can see how the Stetzer filter can knock it down.
So that's to say it again about what that is doing to your body.
Well, the fact that this is picking these up in air, your body is standing out here. It's getting into your body and just generating currents. And if we had time, I could put electrodes on my wrist, hook myself to a oscilloscope, and show how when I get in a dirty electricity environment, there's currents being generated in my body. Okay, here's what I did with this. I went out to the I-5 wind farm, and there's one major substation there. And I put 2 screwdrivers under the ground, 50 feet apart, and I hooked the ends of the lead to the Stetzer's meter. You can see the 60 cycle running along here. But look at all this garbage on it. I mean, none of that should be there. That proves that the ground there is carrying just a ton of dirty electricity.
So show us what you're talking about. What you're referring to as garbage. People won't understand.
Anything there should be a single little unfat line, a smooth 60 cycle sine wave, and it's not only fat, it's got all this hair on it. Every one of those is a transient or a harmonic. And if I can show the harmonics if I get the right graph here.
Yeah, if you could explain what the transient and a harmonic look like, because when you finally have a picture in your mind, I think of those two things, then you get it.
Well, I the book's I put a picture here just so people could see it. This is what transients look like. Here's a sine wave, and it should be perfectly smooth, and it's not. See little bumps on it? I think in the talk I gave, I showed this on screen. That should be perfectly smooth. Now this is just that filtered out the 60 cycle, and this is just showing you an amplification of the garbage on here. Now I'll get another one that shows you the harmonics. All harmonic is 60 cycle times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those multiple frequencies. See if I can find one here. Okay. Now, this shows, this is a wind farm harmonics. Each one of these is a multiple of the 60 cycle. It should be there. So this 2 is to be 120. You see there's repeated peaks. And look, none of that stuff should be there.
That should be a flat line.
That should be. There should be a bump. Well, usually you get maybe a 60 cycle. You get a bump at 120 at 180, but you shouldn't get any of this stuff. I look at it's out to 100 times 60 or 6,000 cycles a second. Just shouldn't be there.
So all those high speed peaks are what you're saying should not be there.
None of these should be there. If you had a clean system, you should maybe have one at 2, a couple of little low ones down here. That's it. There's a generalization. A continuous wave, smooth wave, doesn't seem as near to be as biologically active as pulse or rapid rise time. Those spiky waves, they bother your body. I don't think your body can adjust to them as quickly. And the little bone healers, they put that over a fracture, and it's got this rapid rise time, pulse EMF that accelerates bone healing. Anything that can accelerate, make your cells grow quicker is a good candidate for being a carcinogen.
I'm wondering if you want to say that anything about the difference between EMFs and radio frequencies.
Well, the radio electromagnetic fields are continuous from decent, no cycles a second up to billions of cycles per second. Visible light is a part of that. What we consider electricity is at the very low end, extremely low frequency fields, 60 cycle, 50 cycle a year. The dirty electricity we're talking about, the Stetzer filter takes care of, say, between 2 and 100 kilohertz. All the new stuff is up in megahertz, thousands of cycles, and gigahertz, billions of cycles of second range. The DECT phones and cell phones, they're in the really high frequencies. And that's why the radio frequency levels in urban areas are going up like a shot, because pagers and cell towers and all those transmitters are operating at really high frequencies. I think we're kind of lucky that they chose 60 cycle for power and 50, because I think if they're smooth, I don't think they're as damaging to the body as this high frequency business and the dirt that rides on the 60 cycle. But that's the other irony. If we didn't have wires coming to our house, dirt electricity wouldn't get us, because it's coming. You're getting dirt from your neighbors. It's like if you turn your water on, you're getting your neighbor's sewage. Exactly what's happening. It's coming out your pipes. It's coming in on your water pipes. In fact, I've been in houses where if you shut the main electric breakers off, you measure higher fields in the house with the breakers off, because it's coming in through the grounds and it's not balanced. And that's right. Amazing. Here I'm learning about electricity late in life. I wish I'd had an electrical engineering background, but I'm learning. And it's so pioneering stuff. Nobody's doing this. Stetzer, Marty Graham, a couple others, Magda Havas. We're a small group, and I can't get anybody else to do it. But maybe, I look at EPRI knows, Electric Power Research Institute knows all about this. But they just keep it real quiet, and they know what needs fixing. They know how to fix it. It just costs megabucks. They ought to fix the grid. The first thing they should do is beef up the neutral return to eliminate ground currents. When the grid was built, there were no ground currents. We don't need ground currents. They're bad. We don't need dirt electricity. It's very bad. And I'm just hoping. That's why I wrote the book. I don't have I thought I'd have a relaxing retirement. I just work my butt off ever since I retired. And I could let go of this. It's a paradigm shift. I'm going to take my books and going to send a copy to the Nobel Committee. Hey, read this, you guys. This is the most important science story of the millennia. I've sent 100 copies at my own expense to major outlets, TV and radio, and so far very few people have taken me up on it. Well, look, GE owns NBC. I mean, why would they want anybody to know about this? And the halogen lights are a joke. I mean, they're the halogen and compact fluorescence. I got a CFL. Let me show you this one thing. This is kind of cute. Stetzer made this. Can demonstrate this. He gives a show and tell so often that he fabricated this thing. This is a halogen light here. See what it does to that? And I showed you how a filter can knock it down. Incandescent lights don't do anything, of course. It doesn't change. Here's a dimmer switch. Look at it, we evolved on this planet without any of this stuff. The only fields on the planet were the Earth's field. It's a big metal core that drives a magnet north and south. It's a static DC field. There's lightning, static electricity, frictional electricity. It makes when you're comb through your hair, you can pick up little bits of lint. But until this AC revolution came along in the 1800s, there was no such thing as alternating current. And I think that what's happened, every process in our body runs electrically. Your brain, your EEG, your heart, EKG, your muscles, EMG, electromyogram. You can measure the currents from these organs. Your intestines, peristalsis works electricity. Your cells communicate electrically. So we are an electrochemical being. We're electrochemical soup. So why would it be strange that exogenous fields and currents mess up your body, make you sick, give you cancer? The Russians knew this 40 years ago. They described microwave illness. People who worked around substations and microwaves, insomnia, loss of libido, brain fog, trouble concentrating, depression, etc., etc. So I think it's perfectly logical that we're electrochemical animals, and this stuff just drives us nuts. I did a study many, many years ago, and men who work in aluminum reduction process, they work in very, very strong fields, and they had a high rate of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. What we showed was that their immune systems were really bizarrely different than normal. And so the way I interpret it is that your body picks up the fields, tries to mount an immune response to it, and finally that response fatigues. And when it fatigues, then that's when your cancers happen, because you're making cancer cells all the time. Your body gets rid of them. And if you mess up with the body's defenses, and we sure do that by getting into fields, that's one of the reasons I think that the cancers happen. That's my theory.
And 11 years later, you can go to Building Biologists. You can purchase an expert to come out and test your facility or home. They're all over the place. If you type this man's name in, you will find YouTube videos on how to use a actual meter and how to test. You'll catch them also on my lives. The last two. Then you have Environmental Health Trust. This is a big giant think tank all about EMF, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, you name it. And these are actual published studies. Lots of them, thousands of them. You can click on science and you can go through all of them. This is just one link. This is just the link for the research on the child's vulnerability to radio frequency radiation. So having a big giant grow light in your house that produces all this, I think it needs to be tested, and it can be. Like I said before, you have professionals here, roughly around 150 per hour. You may find them less, but they are all over the place. I mean, you're definitely going to be able to find one. Let's say you don't want to find one and you want to do it yourself. You can. You can go over to Bioinitiative Report. You can click on the RF color chart. This is all the known published data up to, I don't know if it's all current. There's probably way more out. So when you look at it, you'll get your microrads per square centimeter, and you can find out what kind of levels that you're sitting in. And then you also have less EMF. They have meters. So if you wanted to test it for yourself, the safe Pro 2 meter. I think it's the Safe Meter Pro 2. Safe and Sound Pro 2. This one is a building biologist institution creation between them and the Bio Initiative report. And it's highly accurate for the amount of money that you're paying on it. There are better ones out there, but they're in the $1,000 range. I think that's pretty much it. You have Dr. Magna Havas. You also have the conference that is actually through Environmental Health Trust. So there's an EMF conference with tons of scientists. You also have the documentary Generation Zap. But no, I do not sell lights. I just threw that in there as an option so you don't have to have a store-bought light that's going to produce even more higher amounts. And the frequency range will be out of what you could get for a Stetzer filter to knock down the dirty electricity of those simple light bulbs. And you know what 45,000 lux gets you because you've just seen it. Thank you for your time.